And I'm Pink Pickles.
We're here to create chaos tonight. How was your week, Pink?
Pretty
Oh,
good.
that almost sounds like a rhyme. How was your week, Pink? I like it.
So the other night I was playing. I played Battlefield multiple times this week with Sir X Man. So in the middle of the week, I was like, I gotta go to bed. I gotta get to work. So Friday night, there were four of us playing. They wanted to play some round. So it's already like 2 o'clock or 1:30 in the morning. And he's like, oh, this round's gonna take us an hour. And I was like, well, I like make bad decisions. Let's go. So I definitely stayed up all night long. Thank God I didn't have to go to work.
Nice. That's too funny.
Yeah, some of us should not have the power to be an adult. I can't handle it. I should not be given this ability.
I mean, we're from a generation where you can stay up all night and then still go to work the next day, even though you've made bad decisions all night. I used to.
I need at least 5 hours of sleep. If I get less, I mean, I'll be tired with five, but I can function. If I get under 5 hours of sleep, like I'm gonna fall asleep in the middle of the day. That's what I found.
That's what nap time's for.
Nine times. What did you say? 9 times 4?
Nap? No, it's what nap time
Oh,
is.
I was like, why are you doing math all of a sudden? Like,
I hope not. It's what nap time is for. You get a nap in the middle of the
close.
day. A lot of cultures believe in naps. I'm a
I
firm
know.
believer in naps myself.
Instead of taking lunch, I just take a nap. That would actually be genius. I should just do that normally.
I mean, you don't need a full hour to eat lunch. Take a half hour nap,
Yeah,
half hour to eat your food. I see no problem.
I like it. It's a good plan. So, how was your week and how was your Mother's Day?
It was good. It's been good. Week is the usual, as always. Chaos everywhere.
Mm.
Scaring villagers. What can you do? Plotting torment for the upcoming seasons. um, Over the weekend, I kept an extra child with my kid. Um,
Hopefully, their parents knew you were keeping an extra child. This
yeah,
isn't
yeah.
kidnapping
Well,
you're admitting to.
no, never online, please. Uh, um, but my Mother's Day was fairly relaxing. Still a mom though, so somewhat stressful. What can you do? But all in all, well, went good. I got flowers. I got pretty flowers from the other deal. So I mean,
Nice.
doesn't make up for the excruciating day of labor, but peanuts, peanuts.
So, I've been reading all day on Reddit, and I know most of it is just AI garbage and just rage bait. But all these people are posting how their husband didn't do anything for them for Mother's Day and like didn't even get them a card. They
Oh,
still had to
good.
cook their own dinner, all this stuff.
Well,
Well, I just thought,
sorry.
well, all these stories though, like this is not like a one-time thing. This is a pattern of does your husband even like you? So I don't feel sorry for these people because you should have left him years ago. Like if
These
he
are
said,
also the same guys that don't do anything for birthdays or
yeah,
holidays in general and things of that nature. Why do you expect them to do something now? Because you pushed
exactly.
out a person. I
And
mean,
before you got married, you know he wasn't doing anything. Did you think it would change? No. So would you stay married to someone who just put zero effort into holidays? Like let's say they did let's say Dreadpool all of a sudden just stopped. And
no.
anytime you'd be like, "What are you doing?" Like, "I make me dinner, buy me some flowers." He was like, "Nah, I don't want to."
No, I would not. It
Yeah.
because the day-to-day aspect of my life would probably be terrible to begin with because if you can't acknowledge somebody on a stupid holiday, like in all honesty, they're not acknowledging you on a day-to-day basis or when you do something and go out of your way to do things. These are the same people that take for granted if you make them a lunch or you
Mm.
are making dinner 7 days a week. I mean, do they think these things magically happen and appear? Is there a house fairy that comes in and cleans, bro?
Uh,
Like, there's a lot of things that I hear, those Reddit things that listen, they have to be fake. There's no
yeah,
way
I
people
think a
aren't
lot of
being.
them are just they're designed to get people riled up. But I bet you there are people dumb enough that marry jerks and then are shocked that they married jerks and they get upset over it.
I'm sorry you're in the hell you created. It, there's the door. There's a whole meme. There's the door. I don't
We got
listen. I wouldn't have had a child with Dreadpool if I didn't think he was going to appreciate the day to day life that we have
yeah.
to begin with. It wouldn't have gone that far because I expect I have expectations and expect certain things, as so does he. If you're not meeting those expectations before you have kids and before you build a life and all that stuff, bro, people don't change like that.
No.
Like, and not to mention, a lot of times they get upset because they're not seeing the signs. How about you say something?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I think too, people with kids, like you're setting your kids up for failure, or you're just doing them a disservice because you have to teach your kid to appreciate people. Teach your kid that like, hey, there's certain days that you have to do these things for. So like they're now gonna grow up and they're gonna meet somebody and they're gonna be the jerk who doesn't do anything for the holidays.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like I've said since I found out that we were having a girl. She's going to be looking at you for expectations. You're
Hmm.
starting them. You're setting her expectations. And I tell my daughter all the time, when she does start dating, she had better not bring anybody home that does not meet the criteria. I mean, if he cannot behave and do things for her the way her father does, I do not bring that person home because they
Oh,
may not leave the way they came. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Like I said, there's expectations, and if you're not straight up from the jump, then and like I said also too, people don't talk. They have terrible
I know.
communication and saying, "I want things. This is what I expect." In I mean, I read a thing a while too long ago about somebody. She was with her boyfriend for 16 years, and he finally proposed. Oh my gosh, he finally proposed. I'm sorry, what? After 16 years and you wanted to get married and it didn't happen, did you not say something?
See, I'm the type of person I lay it out there. When Perry and I, when we talked about moving in together,
Hmm.
I up front was like, if in 1 year after moving in we're not engaged, like we don't have to break up, but I'm gonna move out. I'm not sticking around forever. Like this is what I want. This is what you're telling me you want. I let it know up front because then if he didn't like that, he could have come back and said, "Whoa, that's too fast," or "No, I don't want it." Right? You could have had a conversation to
Hmm.
make. And then we did. We made sure that we were both on the same page. We both wanted the same things. Then
Hmm.
we were getting married. We got married 5 days after my birthday, and I told him I was like, "Listen, a birthday and her anniversary are two separate events that require two separate cakes. I don't even care about gifts. I want cake." But I told him up front because I didn't know a lot of people. Like I figured, okay, he wants to do the combo thing. Like I just told him this. Nope, this is what I want.
No,
Like
no,
I said, he could have come back and said, "No, you're crazy" or whatever. But like, yeah,
yeah, no,
what?
I get it. When Derpool and I started dating and we got serious, I gave him the timeline. I was like, listen,
Yeah,
we don't have to get married after a year, but you need to have some kind of plan on whether or not this is something you could see. Because if not, I'm leaving. I don't have
yeah.
time to wait and hang out with somebody that's never, it's not, that's something I wanted.
I can't. I can't imagine that somebody wanted to get married in 16 years it took to get a proposal. And they didn't. They either didn't say anything or they didn't just propose themselves. Like he doesn't propose to you. Could have proposed. But you wanted that and you said nothing? Like, really? You shouldn't get married. That right there, you are not ready to get married if you cannot say, hey, here's what I want. Here's what I expect.
In the personal cases that I know of people, if they're not, in my personal opinion, if you are with someone for X amount of time and you do not get married, within 5 years of you getting married, eventually after 16, 20 years or whatever, you're getting divorced. I'm sorry. Anybody I've known that's done that, they've gotten divorced. And it's kind of shocking because you're like, wow, you guys were together for, 16, 18, 20 years or whatever. And a few years after they get married, they get, maybe you should have never gotten married in the first place.
Yeah.
Maybe things probably would have continued staying just the way they were if you hadn't gotten married.
Yeah.
That's something, not everyone has to get married, but if you're going to, I recommend doing it within a few years. Unless you're like, start dating in like middle school or something. In which case, please, by all
Yes.
means,
Yeah.
take 20 years. Have at it.
I do
I
know
say you should be
somebody
able for
though.
anyone to get married, but that's my.
Yeah. I
That's
do know somebody though that they got married. It was a second marriage for both. I think they were both widowed. They got married after tons of years. They went the distance, but the only reason they got married is I forget which one had good health insurance, the other one needed the health insurance. And they made, like, they didn't hide it. They were both just like, yeah, we're getting married, need health insurance. But you know what? They're both on the same page. You know what I mean? It wasn't like one of them was like, oh my God, I'm so in love. This is amazing. And the other one's like, oh, I just need to go to the hospital.
I know an old couple that's together strictly for the fact that they're someone to be their companionship. They're doing it for companionship. Nothing other than just a companionship of having someone in the house all the time. Whatever you want to do with your life, that's fine. Do you? I would never tell somebody not to do something. For the most part, there are some things I do not encourage.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, live how you want to live. Get married, don't get married, whatever. But don't get upset when it turns out you've had a kid with a
douchebag.
Someone that, yeah, pretty much. I mean, when you get married to somebody or you're with somebody that is just not unappreciative, I feel like the signs are there.
Moral of the story for men and women: appreciate the person you're with. Show them that you appreciate them. It doesn't require money. It requires effort to just show appreciation and say appreciation. And men and women, don't marry douchebags. You deserve better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I made a face when we were talking because all of a sudden in the chat, if you guys are watching, thanks, but all these people subscribe, but there's totally not that many people watching, so I don't know what happened. I have a feeling we got notifications just from the general channel. I don't really know. If you're here, though, thanks. Oh. Well, so I have like oodles of stories, but I found one today and I was laughing. I have somebody who did not get a Mother's Day gift. She doesn't deserve a Mother's Day gift, but she did not get one.
Not every mother deserves children.
What page did I just open this in? Why do I not see it? Hold on. What?
Not every parent deserves to be in their kids' lives. That's like I could think of a few moms who are like top 10 worst moms in history.
So this lady, she's a foster mom, and she fostered more than 200 children over the years, which, I mean, what a great thing to do, to foster children. That's wonderful.
I feel like there's a big but somewhere.
Yeah, not a great thing if you try to trade one of your foster children for a monkey. This lady in Missouri, they don't know if she traded her kid for a monkey. They're investigating. So she collects exotic animals. And so she's in Missouri. There was a missing child that was later located in Texas. So there's a witness who came forward and said that there was systemic abuse going on in the home and that they were asked to bring the child down to Texas and bring the monkey back in return. Okay, multiple things. One, I mean, what kind of person are you that you're trading a child for a monkey? That's the obvious that, like, you're a piece of crap. Who the heck is taking a child in exchange, right? Who has a monkey and they're like, okay, this monkey is $1,000, and the person goes, I got an 8-year-old, and they're like, okay, that's cool, right? Who's accepting a kid as payment? I hope that person also is facing charges.
I got several questions, and I mean, God, I'm a terrible person. I'm an absolutely horrible person. Because my brain, when you say they asked for the monkey back to take the kid, my brain starts thinking there's an old story, and it was about a kid who was kidnapped for ransom. And the parents were just kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever, call us back in a few hours and let me know how you feel. And the kid was so wildly terrible that within a few hours, the kidnappers called back the parents and were like, we'll pay you to come get this kid. And that's where my brain instantly went, was how terrible was this kid?
So
These people were like, oh, the hell, I would rather deal with a 15-foot crocodile in the tank
so
that I got in the back than this. Come get this kid. Give me the monkey that'll rip your face off.
so was the kid always that bad, or is this part like this kid was just some sort of
Oh no, the
genius and
kid
was
was.
like, I'm gonna get myself out of the situation.
Oh no, the story is the kid's just that terrible. The parents were like, "Nah, man, you can keep the kid,"
Parents were like,
and hung up
oh,
on.
the rent was $20. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have it. You're gonna have to just keep them.
Yeah,
Good luck.
yeah, like the kidnapper, the whole thing is the kidnappers keep calling back with like a higher and higher number, and the parents just keep like hanging up, like, nah, man, keep the kid, like, enjoy that. Like that was your mistake. Why
Yeah.
do you think you were able to kidnap him in the first place,
You
dummy?
kidnapped the wrong kid. Not because I'm gonna come after you, because you are stuck with the kid.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I had no idea what the reason for that whole story was when my mom would tell us that, but it was always something we loved growing up. I think maybe she was hoping if we ever got kidnapped, we'd be it's so terrible they'd be trying to bring us back, begging to bring us home. I don't know, but yeah, that's where. So who asked for the monkey back? Was it the
No,
like the
no. So
cops
the
or
lady,
something, or
no,
was
the
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 person
foster
reported?
mom, whoever she asked to deliver the kid, she told the guy, I think well, they don't say guy or girl, whatever. Hey, go bring this kid to Texas for me and bring a monkey back with you. So like, that's what she like the foster mom told whoever the person is,
Hmm.
go make the trade.
Hmm.
And I want to know, why did this person agree to do it? That's a third person that needs to be arrested. Now that I think about it, is this person actually brought the kid down to Texas? And I'm assuming brought the monkey back. It doesn't say if they completed the deal, but the kid was in Texas, so they left the kid there. Wouldn't you be like, first of all, I'd be like, you're crazy, I'm not dealing with you. But if you know she's abusive, wouldn't you just be like, yeah, yeah, I'll take the kid, and then you drive to the freaking police?
Oh, do you think there's a possibility they drove through that state that just did the execution by firing squad? That would be cool. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm up for jury duty. Anybody
Yeah.
else? Show hands.
We got
I
three
mean,
people who deserve to be arrested over this.
I am all for. Now, am I the only one who feels like I missed out on a huge chance for money by not making bingo cards? I'm making bingo cards for the rest of the year because, like, who had execution by firing squad in 2025?
I
Like,
know.
yeah, no, I feel like these people, if they went through that state, I feel like that state should bring them up on charges. I feel like that's
Yeah,
I
because I
see a
bet you any
problem
state
there
along the way can be the one that charges them.
because I'm guaranteeing these people are not good people for any reason. The whole
Oh,
thing is just
oh yeah, I'm
wow.
gonna go out on a limb and say that there's other horrible things they're doing. There's no way that like you are a great person except for this one little instance of trading a foster kid for a monkey. Like there's a lot leading up to this and probably after this.
No,
Yeah.
you know they're going to do a documentary on it.
I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready.
The next Tiger King, the Monkey King.
This lady kind of looks like the Tiger King. She's yeah.
I bet you. You know, most of these people are hideous, so I'm willing to bet she's she's disgusting.
Yeah.
I have never seen one of these people and thought to myself, oh, they wouldn't be somebody you'd suspect of something really shady like that. You look at them and go, holy crap, that is your stereotypical dirtbag.
Yeah. Of course it's you.
Why wouldn't it be you? Yeah. You
You
won't hear anybody saying, I never would have thought they were such an
Yeah, I
amazing
know.
neighbor. Instead, you're going to hear the neighbors go, man, I knew there was something wrong with these people. Did you see them? Walking around looking like a crackhead.
Yep. So you said you wished that you would have been able to make money on bingo cards. What
Mm-hmm.
you also missed out on,
Mm-hmm.
because they're passing a law to close this
Mm-hmm.
in Miami, people are selling DMV appointments for $250.
You know, that's not that surprising.
Yeah,
I watched the video
because
the other day, something crazy.
they're changing the rules about and you need a real ID to fly. Even though they've been telling people for like 8 years that you need this, people just never went and got it.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, I didn't get it, but I'm also not going anywhere. So, and I have a passport if I absolutely have to. But if I was traveling or I traveled occasionally, I would have done it years ago. But now that the deadline, I think the deadline's June 1st. So, all over the place, lines to the DMVs are just insane. I know in my town, people were saying they waited 5 hours and they got turned away. I would
Mm-hmm.
never wait 5 hours at the DMV. They're crazy. But
Listen,
anyways, so people are going online and they're using bots, I'm sure. So they're making online, they're just they're taking all the appointments.
mm-hmm.
So how people find the scalpers to sell them, I don't know. Like, is there a stub hub for DMV appointments? I'm not really sure. But somebody will buy all the appointments and then they just sell them off to people for $250.
That's insane. But I have questions for people that don't have the real ID yet. Where have you been for the last like 10 years? Because I mean, I could have sworn I'm pretty sure one of the times I had to renew my license, like I had to do the whole real license thing. I wasn't allowed to just renew my license. I had to bring in all the crap
Oh,
that you have to
see,
do
no,
for it.
see, they're
So
not making us. Well, I wonder though. Now that the deadline comes next time I renew my license, if they make me do it, I don't know.
Mhm.
I never did it because I renew my license online, and like when I actually can you? I don't know. Maybe I did go in, but you only renew your license every 10 years. I think.
Mhm.
Last time I went in, they took a horrible photo of me, but whatever. I would have to bring extra paperwork and stuff. I just don't feel like dealing with it. And like I said, I don't go anywhere.
Mhm.
And the rare time that I fly, it's because I'm going on a cruise. I have a passport, so I would be able to produce that. So I'm not going out of my way to do something that I don't need.
Yeah.
Somebody else needs it. I don't. But like I said, if I was the type of person that, like, let's say I had to fly for work, or I fly because I go on vacation every year, I would have done this years ago. I don't know why everyone. Yeah, why are you waiting to the last minute?
It was something I did ages ago
Yeah.
because the way the laws are in Florida, I don't know how strictly they enforce them per se, but there was a law at some point that if you didn't have an ID or a license on you after the age of 18, you could get tickets and fined for it. And I just kind of assumed that the new real ID thing, like you had to have it. So
Yeah.
I'm just confused as why so many people don't have it done already because it's been going on for years.
I
So
know.
unless you've renewed your license online or in the mail, I know a lot of people that do that.
But
I thought
even
you had to do it when you renewed, even.
but
So
even if you renew it online, like I said, if you are a person who travels, why didn't you take care of it? But apparently, and buying up all of the or making all of the DMV appointments apparently is not illegal. It will be. I'm sure at this point they've already. This article's a couple weeks old. They were trying to pass a law that you couldn't do it. I would think that would have been illegal from the get go, but apparently not.
it always
Wish
takes
I
a
would have thought
while
of
for
it.
laws to catch up to technology, though. I mean, that's not. new. That's something we've dealt with for the last several years. I mean, there's
Yeah.
still states that, up until what, like last year or so, revenge porn wasn't an
Yeah.
issue, or online stalking. There
Yeah.
weren't many laws for that up until recently. So
True.
technology is always ahead of the laws.
And I guess who thinks that someone is going to sell DMV appointments? Because normally, outside of this, you need the ID by the deadline.
Hmm.
If you went to book a DMV appointment and you had to wait a week, you'd probably, if it's paid $250 to go this week or wait one more week and do it for free, you
Hmm.
would just wait a week. Because most things that you do, it's not like I have to go today. So they probably
Um,
never thought that people would be booking all the appointments and then people would be paying money for them.
I actually have forgotten that I needed to go to the DMV
Yeah.
like that day, because I don't pay attention to deadlines very often. I forget.
Yeah.
You're like, I got 30 days. Forget about it. And come day 30 and you're like, oh crap.
Yeah.
um, I've never really waited more than like 10, 15 minutes at my DMV. Honestly, the longest I've usually waited is walking around through the DMV line because they had like ropes out for something or another. That's the longest it usually takes me. My DMV's never really
Yeah.
packed, but I also have two of them real close, so I can
Yeah,
pick
we
and
have
choose.
yeah, we have
So I
tons of
don't.
DMVs near us. So yeah, I mean, I probably have waited 30 minutes, like if it's really busy, but yeah, I'm not waiting 5 hours at the DMV. No,
No,
I'll drive to a different DMV. Quicker.
I just
Quicker than
recently
go
learned
somewhere
you could
else.
make appointments for the DMV. I didn't know that was a thing.
I think during COVID is when it started that
Mhm.
right you had to make appointments and I think a lot of places just kept it. So I don't know if you have to make an appointment or if it's just they still do it. They're going crazy about how many asses everything has. I don't know what they're talking about.
Hmm.
They're having their own fun.
Nice. I'm gonna let that ride because
Uh,
I talked enough about asses earlier today. I am not discussing those again. People are nasty. Dreadpool sent me a short earlier. We were talking about it, and I'm disturbed. I'm not even gonna lie. I I really hope it's satire. I truly, really do. I guess I might as well talk about it because it's. You know what? If I have to be traumatized,
we're all along for the ride
everyone's gonna
now.
join me on this one. All right, there's a video. It's a short from a podcast, and it's a guy and a girl talking. I don't know who these people are. I don't know if I'm supposed to know who they are, honestly. There's a lot of
Oh,
people these days I don't know who they are. So me not knowing them, not a surprise. Unless your name shows up on my list, which you don't really want anyway. I don't know who you are. Um, but for some reason they're discussing bowel movements.
I
And
think I know
this
where you're going.
grown
God.
man with his whole chest proceeds to describe rolling his hand in, like rolling toilet paper around his hand and catching his poop. And much like my response to the whole thing, the woman in the podcast response was like, I'm sorry, what? And so he explains it again. And then after he says he catches it, he says, I inspect it. I'm sorry, what? And then he's, mind you, this grown man, it does not look that young, by the way, this grown ass man is just like confused that she is horrified and confused. So she does what any normal human being is she's like, I can't I can't talk to you anymore. Like, I gotta leave. This is physically making me sick. You're nasty. Like, what is wrong with you? And he's looking at her, confused as all hell, because he's like, what do you mean? You don't do that? So how do you inspect it then? Like, and thankfully it's done because I don't care what else this man has to say. I don't give a shit what his whole reasoning for this monstrosity is. The whole world is collectively looking at him, or so I hope to God, going, what is wrong with you? Who lied to you? And honestly, what kind of idiot friends and family have let you consistently do this? What?
Is this a clip? Is this clip a few years old? Like this
I
isn't.
don't know. I don't even care.
I think I've seen it because yes, and he says it like it's just normal. Like everyone else is the weird one. He's so confident in this.
He says it with his whole chest. Like he is genuinely confused why they are horrified at, and I'm just like, I'm having a more intense response to this because I would not even be able to contain myself sitting in the studio with this entire gigantic walking turd monster. What the actual fuck? I I don't
Okay.
I can't process this properly. I need help. Please tell me I am not the only person
Okay.
who
So
heard this thinking, who told this
this
man a
is
lie?
this is from so in two I found an article from 2019. I googled man who wraps hand in toilet paper and catches poop. I found the article. Okay, right.
What the
Just gotta put it out there, right?
oh my god!
Um.
It's an entire article on this asshole. You
Oh my
gotta be
god.
kidding me.
So so
I didn't mean to use the pun, but it works.
if anyone ever looked at my Google history, I'm going on some sort of list, right? What is wrong with this lady? Okay, so this was on Bully and the Beast is the radio show. I don't even know where this is out of. Who cares? So one of the hosts is L'Oreal, and the other co-host is Wax. The guy's name is Wax. Okay, so L'Oreal tells Wax he was in need of a manicure after noticing he had dirty fingernails. After jokingly asked if he had been handling, are we 30 minutes in?
Yeah.
Yes. After jokingly asking if he had been handling shit, he revealed that he wasn't playing with his poop, but he does it directly into a tissue.
I don't care how you do it, man. I don't honestly. I feel like catching it with a handful of toilet paper is about on the same level as catching it with your bare hands. Why are you catching poop? And he was
Okay,
horrified that it drops into the water. Who's catching their poop?
that's gonna say this is even better because she tells him, I've never shit into a tissue before. So he was like, wait, you touch your shit every single day? And he didn't understand why everyone was so confused. And then he says, this is a quote, so you're telling me that you let the doo doo fall in the toilet. You don't catch it every time.
This
Oh
has
my
to
God.
be like the biggest troll in a while. Like this has to
Oh
be a
God.
great troll. There's no way like somebody has that. Listen, this is not like the shit streaks, bro. This is not like having an itchy butt like a lot of guys apparently experience and are okay with. This is not the same as not wiping properly. Well, why are you catching poop to inspect it? Do you do things that you are guaranteed to have worms?
Okay, well, can I just say, let's say you wanted to inspect it. Whatever. Can't you just look in the toilet? Right? Why do you have to catch it and like bring it
Is
up
he
to
still
your
wiping
face?
afterwards?
Okay, so I've
That's
heard
the,
because this is where I thought you were going at first. There's on the internet, and I hope these people are trolling, but I really think that it's true. There's a whole group of men who don't wipe because
oh yeah,
and they're
no, I that's what I was referring to with the shit streaks. There are a whole group of men. I am well aware of that whole thing, that whole topic. I unfortunately have already discussed that it's very troublesome and concerning that there are grown men out there that are okay with having poop-filled underwear and itchy assholes. Um, I wish that somebody would tell them they don't have to live that way.
Well, I'm going to assume though that there's nobody to tell them because nobody wants to be around them because they smell like shit. Right? Are you going to be friends with
Their
someone who?
parents failed them
Yes.
because somebody that was potty training them should have severely explained the necessity
Yes.
of it all, cleaning yourself properly. I mean, but
I'll
I
say
digress.
now.
There was also in that very same uh, line of thought, there were a couple of guys who then admitted to shitting their pants on purpose while at work so they could leave work early. So I'm not just
Oh,
questioning
wait.
some thought processes, I'm questioning the idea of thoughts altogether.
Can we
I
can we
mean, you
back up
can't
a second?
question ideas if they don't have them.
Can we back up a second? I'm at work.
Which part?
Okay. I
Yeah.
want to leave. I want to leave early.
Yep.
I go tell my boss, I have to go because I just had an accident in my pants. Is my boss gonna say, "Let me sniff your butt to prove that it's true. Let me see your pants. I don't believe you." Your
Nope.
boss is gonna tell you to go home. You don't actually have to do it. You could lie. Like, why are you actually shitting yourself? You could just lie.
The only thing that was stated was that nobody questions you
But
shitting your pants,
that's the thing.
but it's
Nobody
a
questions it. So
surefire
you.
way for you to
But
go home. Well, I don't know, man. These are the same guys that
that's
are okay with having itchy asses all day.
But that's
I
my
mean,
point. No one questions it, so you don't really have to do it. You could fake it because they're not going to question it. Hell, get a chocolate bar, melt a Hershey's bar, and just rub some on your pants. That's a better option. Frank said no, they have to check company policy. Okay, so wait, Perry said Best Buy always wanted to see proof if you called out or left early. If you said that you shit your pants, what proof are you going to show them? Are they really going to say, pull your drawers down? Are they, like I said, are they going to sniff your butt to say, I don't smell anything? I don't believe you? I don't, like, what, are they really asking for proof?
listen,
Maybe if every single day you said that that's what happened, but like if it happens once, you're going to go home.
I am questioning the sanity of it all. Like
Oh.
I said, I'm not questioning the thought process. I'm questioning the process of thoughts altogether because I have questions. And I really want to know because in some of those guys that answered and responded back to that said they don't clean properly or they don't clean at all, some of those guys actually do have girlfriends and wives
How?
and things. And,
What's wrong with them?
that's what I was wondering myself because my only thought was, do you have any idea the amount of absolute disgusting rage I would unleash in my house if my husband even thought of putting one pair of underwear in our laundry like that, much less multiple pairs of
Well,
laundry in my laundry. No, absolutely not. Dude, first of all, when my kid was potty training, right? You got to deal with some crazy shit when you have kids. Like, that's all there is to it. You will experience things you didn't think were possible of having to deal with when it comes to another person. And unfortunately, there is nothing you can do to stop this shit. It's just a whole world of fuckery. When my kid was potty training, accidents happen. It's bound to happen. They don't know what they're doing. You're
yeah, they're
figuring it out
kids.
as you go along, too. If things work, they don't work. I never washed a single pair of underwear with shit in them. Not a
Just
once.
throw it
I
away.
never cleaned them. Absolutely. I am not doing that. You got me confused for anybody else on this planet that no, absolutely. I will deal with so many disgusting things. That is not one of them. Absolutely not. If I'm not dealing with the person I created, you think I'm dealing with anybody else's? No, I throw my own away if I had an accident. No, man. Because we've all been sick. It happens. It comes out one way or another, and you can't always stop it. Yes, I will throw it away every single time because no, that's disgusting. It's embarrassing. There's never a reason for it. You need to see a doctor if that is a consistent problem, homie. I
Or
suggest you look up your health insurance.
or you need to just wear an adult diaper. Sir X-Man said, "What happens when you have diarrhea and you're wearing shorts and there's proof?" Well, hopefully you have tidy whities on and not boxers, so it stays contained.
I'm sure it'll be on your
Put
leg.
put an outrageous bar in your underwear for proof.
Youngers Best Buy would sniff anybody's ass for proof.
Okay, I'm at my job. I'm a manager. Okay, if one of my employees came to me, well, one, I wouldn't even like they wouldn't even have to make up an excuse. But if they felt the need to and they said, I shit myself, I have to go home,
Bye.
bye.
Go.
No questions asked.
Nobody cares.
I
Go.
will tomorrow I'll talk to you to make sure it's on your timesheet. Today, leave. Leave before I smell it. Like I said, no questions asked. Just go home. If you work at a job that's going to sniff your ass, you need a new job because your job is horrible. If you work at a
Yeah.
job that you need to go so far as to shit your pants to get out of it,
Yeah.
you have a horrible job.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. No, that's. Mm. Like I said, some people are nasty, and I don't know
And
what happened, why their parents didn't teach them better, whoever raised them. Somebody raised them, and they failed the whole planet with that one. Because
when you're
that
in,
should not be okay.
when you're in high school, you know how like required reading and you have to read all those books. One of the things they should make you read in high school is like the book for little kids about like body training. Just so that way, if something weird is going on in your life, you might be like, "Huh, this is what normal people do." Maybe you could take care of it before you go out into the real world.
This is my selling point for they need to bring back bullying. Teachers need to be able to bully their students again because you know damn well when we were kids and going to school, if you came to school smelling like doo doo,
Yeah,
the teacher's going to have a little chit chat with you, or the counselor on top. Like,
the other kids are going to have a chit chat with
the
you.
kids are going to make fun of you.
Huh.
The teacher's going to have a talk to you. The counselor's going to talk to you, and probably a social worker or a principal's going to be thrown in for good measure to be like, "Are you okay?" And then your parents are going to get a little talking to, like, "Your kid smells like doo doo. If it happens again, we're coming to the house." I'm just saying, bring back bullying. Maybe that's the problem.
Sir X-Men said, "Can you imagine the next person that has to go sit in your chair because you went home?" Dude, I'd be pissed. Like, and that's you wore white, which anyone who wears white pants, I just question their judgment to begin with. And I also admire them because they're confident. Because I'm if I'd get any if I had white pants, like I'm just everything's attracted to me. But like that's the day you wear white pants, then you sit in the chair with the dude who just shit himself. Now you look like you did it. Oh,
That's why I hate people, man. That's why I hate people.
okay, so we already gave life advice about don't marry douchebags and celebrate events. Next life advice: if you at all are curious, go read a kid's book. Cerebral Paul says his favorite potty training book is Nobody Poops But You. Go make sure that what you're doing is normal because it's not normal to catch it in your hand, paper or no paper.
Wait a minute. Is that the actual book? I've never heard of that one, but I have heard of Everybody Poops. My friend got that book when she was pregnant.
And
We thought it was a good choice at the time.
right? Just make sure that what you're doing is what is that you were taught the right thing because right you did what you were taught, and
Clean your
don't
ass,
don't
man.
don't date somebody who shits themselves
Oh my
and
god! Don't,
doesn't clean up.
especially do not
You deserve better.
procreate. Do not
You
procreate with this person. We do not
you
need any more
yes
people like this on the planet walking
yeah you
around.
deserve better. You're worth more.
You can't change them. Let their
Frank
nasty ass go.
Frank said some kid I went to high school with smelled horrible every day and he was absent and everyone was begging the teacher to do something. And she said no one was allowed to say anything when he came back to school and they all just had to accept it.
To hell with that. I would have riled up and said something. I was not. I was nice, but I was not that nice. Listen, if you're gonna, I had to sit in a period for an hour with you and then walk the same hallway as your stank ass. Oh yeah, I'm definitely saying something. I might not be
See,
mean enough to call you out in front of everybody around, but I will absolutely pull you inside and be like, dude,
well,
you stink. Do something.
I also feel that, like, as a teacher, maybe you should say something to make sure everything's okay, because that could be a sign that there's something else going on in this kid's life, right? I mean,
You can say something while still being nice because I do have to deal with a lot of people and unfortunately some people do have a nice odor to
uh,
them. They'll do perfume
uh,
to them. um I am usually kind enough to say something along the lines of when they're leaving. I won't say something necessarily at the beginning of the day, but while they're leaving, I will kindly remind everyone to freshly shower and put on extra deodorant for tomorrow. And if you don't normally wear deodorant, I don't care. Please do so because we're all in a small space. Thank you. Thank you for
luckily,
my TED Talk. Join me tomorrow when I tell you where to wash your hands.
luckily, the only person I've ever had to talk to about that stuff is I had to tell somebody that they were not allowed to spray their cologne inside the building. He would spray his cologne on in the building, and he wore Brute, which you buy at the dollar store.
Mhm.
And I let him know, like, you have to spray this outside. And then I was like, and I don't think you realize how strong it is. You really shouldn't be spraying so much anyways because you have a very strong scent. And he goes, well, if it's this is what Elvis wore. If it's good enough for Elvis, it's good enough for me. That's fine, but don't spray so much.
Yeah, see, that's where I like the choice of which I usually do, and when I do have to be that close to people, I usually will tell them, and I try to be as kind as I can about it, but I do have to be blunt sometimes and explain to them, listen, I'm going to be like right up on you. I'm going to meet you in ways very few people know you, friend. So I'm going to need you to not take your everyday life into account and take mine into account. Okay? Because the job that I do, I could make or break your life and make things very uncomfortable if you make it very uncomfortable for me. So please, because I've had people say, oh, I don't wear deodorant, it's poison. Oh, I don't do this. I don't really care.
Figure something out.
I genuinely don't care what your problem is. There are so many various ways in which you can take care of that problem before I have to see you. And if you, because when you're costuming people sometimes for changing, I am literally like this to their armpit because I'm short. And people are oftentimes in lifted shoes or they're taller than me to begin with. So I'm here to your armpit. If it stinks, it smells like you haven't washed in a week, I can forget to do certain things on your costume so it falls apart while you're on stage in the middle of doing something. And guess who's going to look stupid then? Because when people are watching from the audience, they're not thinking, oh, that costume was just terrible. Whoever's dressing them didn't do their job right. No, they're thinking you dressed yourself, dumbass. or if it's before the show starts running or whatever, you can have a problem with your costume and I can change it. I've put people in purposely ugly and heavy costumes because they pissed me off.
That's the type of pet revenge that I love. I
Yeah,
love it.
you don't have to, I don't have to be mean per se. I don't have to say it to your face. You'll just, I don't have to do things, but there will be signs. There will be signs. I've let people walk out on stage looking a mess and a fool, and I've waved, knowing damn well there's somebody out there that's, critiquing it tonight. Enjoy that review.
You're gonna look stupid.
Because the costume still looks nice, but you don't.
So okay, so this next article I was debating if this would be appropriate or not, but now that we've been talking about it, I think this is totally appropriate to bring up. This happened last month.
Okay.
Okay, so this was in Staten Island. Somebody was burning some items in his backyard, and it spread to two neighboring houses and two motor vehicles. Okay, now I would be furious if my neighbor was lighting stuff on fire and my house caught on fire. I'd be furious. I would be extra furious to find out that the dude was burning two rubber sex toys in the backyard. Yep, 3 alarm fire. And he fully admitted to it that he was burning two rubber sex toys in his backyard. I don't know what people are doing, but like I said, I'd be like extra furious to find out like it was something dumb. It's not like some dude was like burning leaves and it got out of control. No. Yeah. So luckily, no injuries, but house burnt down.
Why would you burn a sex toy to begin with, is what I'm wondering. Isn't that rubber? Wouldn't you?
I don't know.
A guy that like threw it off the side of a cliff, or was that just for a TV show?
When questioned by the fire marshal,
I feel
yeah,
like they base those on like real life events anyway. So I feel like there was a guy that probably threw a sex toy off the side of a mountain. So why can't you just be normal and do something like that?
just throw it in the garbage can. Yeah. So when questioned by the fire marshal, he actually said, I started the fire. I was in the backyard of my house and I lit two sex toys on fire.
Why couldn't you just bury it like a normal person or something? Like,
yeah, Sarkspit said, damn, how big was it? Yeah, but how did you light all these houses on fire? Like what on earth were you doing? How did you start a freaking bonfire?
I would imagine you probably had to use a lot of gasoline or something for it, because I mean, the rubber, they probably don't burn that well.
And I'm gonna say, this guy has probably done other dumb things as a neighbor. This is probably not the first time he's done stupid things. Like they probably all hated this guy to begin with as a neighbor, and now this happened.
Man, I'd be pissed. Burn my house down over a sex toy? That's crazy.
Like I said, I'd be mad if my next door
I
neighbor
know,
was
crazy.
burning leaves and burnt my house down, but at least it would be like, okay, it truly was an accident. What are
Although
you
I
doing? What are you
suppose
doing?
it's probably better than your house burning down because there was a meth lab next door that blew up. I mean, pick and
True.
choose, pick and choose. Because I know a place where it's I mean, I know that's happened in a few places, but like, yeah, there was a house that, that blew up in a neighborhood, and it unfortunately took out the house next to it.
All the other neighbors were probably happy though because they got rid of the neighborhood meth lab, right? They were probably like, "Oh, thank God it wasn't my house, but it's gone."
The amount of times that meth labs blow up, it's just stupid. I am impressed there are any meth heads left to run these labs because so often they blow up before
Yeah.
they actually do anything. I can't,
I
sorry.
know it's actually impressive that they're competent enough to keep the labs going for a while.
I know there's one area that, unfortunately, because of the way the houses are set up, there's quite often meth labs. I don't think they are there very long before they blow up, because quite often you're getting a story about another meth lab blowing. I'm really, well, who am I kidding? I'm already going to hell anyway. I keep laughing.
I,
It's funny.
'Cause I love how meth labs are like the funniest thing to you. I love it. That's what gets you going. Meth labs.
I think, like I said, there was one point in time where it was like every couple of weeks. And all I could ever think was, how are there still mad scientists running around to start these labs? I mean, but that's probably the problem. These idiots don't know what they're doing. They just blow themselves up. How smart
Oh,
can you really be smoking drink? Out of all the drugs in the world, I find meth the funniest because the whole thing's so stupid.
I tried to find
Oh my god. Mm.
try to find the sign, but I don't think I can. So in Ohio, they have like when you enter the state. Oh yeah, wait, close to when you enter the state, they've got signs that say drug traffickers go to prison. The number that you can call. Like there's that many people trafficking drugs through and let's be real, and in Ohio that they need to have signs on the highway.
Oh my god, I bet it's having an amazing effect too. That reminds me. There was a billboard years and years ago in a county that said something like, "You think it's dry now, just wait." And they were the cops in the area were really excited because they kept doing a bunch of marijuana busts. Right? They just
Uh,
kept getting pounds and pounds of marijuana. And apparently, it was dry in the area, but they unfortunately unleashed a cocaine problem too, which they weren't accounted for. So all I can think is, yeah, I'm sure they're catching a bunch of drug traffickers. They're probably gonna get a bunch of like meth labs thing in return. You don't have to traffic it if it's already in the air.
exactly. You're not going to get me on the highway with a car full of meth because I'm only driving a block down the road, or I just have the guy come to my house and buy it.
It
Right?
might definitely cure whatever problem you got, but you might unleash like a prescription pill problem. I don't know, man. They don't have to go very far. Uh, Oh god, it's too funny. It's too much. I'm sorry. It's that Florida humor for you. What can I say? Uh, I find these people entertaining. I don't know how they're functioning on the planet, but by all means, against, I guess life finds a way. Drugs find a way. Oh, I'm going to hell. Who's coming with me?
Okay, so you said Florida humor. I want to know because I found this and I have two articles open and I found the data set because I'm a nerd. There some who is this company? Some I don't know why some company who makes online calculators. They why they did this beats me. They did this whole study and they determined which states are most likely to survive an alien invasion. Okay? So from
Okay.
number 1 through 50, where do you think Florida ranks on the list? So wait, hold on. Let me give you a little more info to help you make your decision, okay?
Okay.
Um the data, so they have population with population density, how many UFO sightings, including the average duration in minutes of these sightings, the landscape data, which is like where you can hide, right? Number of caves, percent area covered by forest, percent area covered bodies of water. Then we have military and defense, total military force per 1,000 people and law enforcement per 1,000 people, right? So if we have people who can come help us. Then they also factored in science, engineering, and medical professionals, right? So how many scientists and engineers and healthcare professionals per 1,000 people are in the state?
Mm-hmm.
And then a food source. So how the number of food and beverage manufacturing companies.
Mm-hmm.
So it's how many people, how many UFOs you see, where you can hide.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have military and law enforcement to save you? Do you have scientists, engineers, and healthcare professionals to help you survive? And how much food are you going to have access to? So that's how they ranked them out. So I don't know their whole scoring metric, but they have a scoring metric for this.
Mm-hmm.
So 1 through 50, where does Florida rank?
I'm feeling like this is stacked against us because, like, listen, they didn't take into account the, like, I don't know, the number of, I don't know, say guns per people, ammo per
Wait.
person.
What are you going? Are you going to shoot down a UFO?
I
Is
mean,
that
I'm
what
not
you're?
necessarily saying shoot it down, but if they land and step out, I mean, it
Okay.
might be on.
Okay, you're going to shoot them when they. Okay. Well, so they didn't factor that in.
Yeah. Not to mention, you have to look at the insanity of it all. You take a person who's got no fucks to give and put them in a crazy situation. It's gonna be entertaining, but it might not end the way you think it's gonna end. So I feel like Florida, because they didn't take into realisticness into account, there's gonna be a lot of states that don't do well for this one. I feel like Florida's probably like 40 or something.
No,
Cause
you really underestimate Florida.
I do.
You
I
think that they're
do.
not. Okay, I'm going to give you a second guess. They made the top 10. Florida
No
made the top
way.
10. Yeah, so they're one of the top
Oh.
10 states who are going to be able to survive an alien invasion. So, okay, so out of the top, so 1 through 10, where did they rank?
That's a tough one because we actually do have a lot of state of the art hospitals and uh, facilities and that where, I don't know, 5?
Close, number 6.
Yeah.
Number
Okay.
6.
Okay.
New York, surprisingly, is number 4. Shocks me, but they are. Okay, so what do you think the number one state that's most likely to survive an alien invasion is? Number one state.
Texas.
No,
Texas.
Texas
No?
didn't even make the top 10.
Wow. I'm surprised because there's a lot of people in Texas. That's a large population.
Virginia. Virginia is number 1.
I want to know how they broke this list down. I'm confused. I mean, if we're taking, like I said, if we're taking rednecks into account, then I can see Virginia handling some business
Oh.
because they got a lot of corn-fed, grown homeboys. You eat a lot
So
of cornbread, you're gonna be huge. So that
okay,
makes sense.
so who do you think ranks number 50? Who's toast and is not surviving?
California.
Nevada.
Well, they're in the desert, so I feel like everything's imported. They aren't growing. Does Nevada even grow anything? Seriously, do
Ah,
they grow anything? Do they have any crops of any kind?
I'm thinking not. I don't know though.
So they're just water and food leaching people. Why do we have Nevada? What is that? Just kidding. I'm surprised.
Tech,
Where's California on the list?
so
That's
wait,
what I want to know.
Texas was number 11.
Mhm.
California California's 31.
That's surprising. I figured it'd be lower
Yeah.
because I don't think they really.
So the top 10
Uh-huh.
um So in case anyone's looking to move and you need to like figure out who's going to survive, Virginia, Alabama, Massachusetts, New York, Minnesota, Florida, Wisconsin, North Carolina, Alaska, and Georgia.
I
Top
like
10.
Alaska, though. There's not a whole. Well, I guess. That's intriguing. I want to know how they broke that down and what all they took into account. I am surprised, though. But good for them.
Like I said, I can't see their formulas, so I don't know, how they weighed all of this data out. But yeah, I know. Virginia, let's see. See, and I wish I could, because I wish I could sort this to kind of see like who has, like, Virginia doesn't have the highest number of healthcare professionals per 1,000 people. They don't have the highest military. Oh, military. Nope, not even highest military. Who the heck is this? What row is this? Scroll down. Hawaii has the
Has a
highest
lot.
military per
Yeah.
1,000 people.
Oh, yeah. They got several. Their bases are huge over there.
But other than Hawaii, Virginia is number 2 in that regard. Um, See, I really wish I could short this data. Somehow, I don't know if you know this, Alabama has a whole bunch of caves, apparently. There's 35 caves. Wait,
Okay.
oh gosh, no, who's this? Kentucky is 63. Tennessee has 71. What is going on in all these southern states? West Virginia has 57. Is it for mining? Is that why they have caves? They're, man-made.
That I would have to ask my
Pennsylvania?
mom.
Okay.
I'd have to ask my mom. She was a geophysicist, so she'd know.
Pennsylvania, 0 caves. I don't buy that for 1 second. There's no way Pennsylvania has no caves. And Pennsylvania had mining. Maryland, no caves. New York, 8. Can you imagine, like, this is the project you're working on at work? Your boss is like, okay, I need you to look some stuff up for me. Here you are making online calculators. And then they ask you to find out how many UFO sightings there are in your state.
I mean, I've done weirder jobs. So,
They also say that and I guess this makes sense because if they did the calculations correctly, because population and population density, so it's people per square mile.
mm,
New Jersey has 1,308 people per square mile. Florida only has 445 people per square mile. And New York, even though I know there's like New York City is concentrated and the rest of it's not, but I would think that their population would skew the data. New York says that they only have 424 people per square mile.
well, I mean, when you take into account the amount of rats, the rats far outweigh the
How
people.
many how many rats per square mile do we have?
There's probably like 57,000 rats to every one person. Big old things, too. Big old bad boys.
Which state has the most bomb shelters? I don't know. Is that like which state?
Hawaii. I'll put money on Hawaii. No, maybe not. Hold on.
Does it have to specifically be a nuclear bunker? Safest states to live in during a nuclear attack. Maine is number 1. I don't know why, but it is. Where are all the nuclear bunkers? Is this going to give me a list? I just want a list. I don't want to read this whole
Yes,
article.
Superman, I'm super excited to see Final Destination at the end of the week. I, in fact, have already decided I'm not waiting till Friday to watch it. I'm going to go see it Thursday night because I don't care about things. And I like to live recklessly. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait because I get to traumatize whole new generation making them watch movies. It's gonna be great. Good times for me. Don't care about them. Fuck them kids.
Okay, so this. Oh,
Well,
location. What?
hold on. New York City rats were sneaking into people's cars. What? And chewing at wires in the engine. That's gross.
That happens. That's been happening a lot, especially people who have electric cars, because it's something with the wiring in the electric car, something that it's coated with. Like the mice love it more than normal people, normal car wires.
Hmm. Sounds like an expensive problem.
You're just trying to get to work, and you come out, and your car won't start, and then you just see a fat rat passed out with wires hanging out of his mouth.
Uh,
No one is giving me a simple answer of what state has the most bomb shelters. It wants me to read this insanely long article about bunkers, and I don't want to.
it's probably one of those states right smack dab in the middle. Pick a state with a whole lot of fields or something.
Okay, well,
Tornadoes. Alabama. There we go. Alabama's probably got its head because of the storms or something.
well, I was also going to say that it's. Are we talking about official bunkers? Or are we talking about like people who are preppers and they built their own bunker that's hidden so no one's going to find it, right? Because that's middle of the country right there for you.
Hmm. Maybe California for that same reason. You know how movie stars are. They get crazy with a lot of money. Too much money, nothing to do. Not the worst idea, but I mean, I could see a lot of people in California having them too.
I
Ew,
do
the rat
not.
was still in his car or her car. That's gross. Hmm.
Oh, it was still there eating. Oh, according to Newsweek had the really long article I wasn't going to read. Idaho, Utah, Oregon, and California have a higher concentration of private bunkers. That's actually surprising to me. Idaho, not surprising. Even Oregon's not surprising. I
Mhm.
would expect, though, some southern states on that. Like, I would think, yeah, like Arkansas, Alabama, like one of those states, I would think would have a huge concentration of private bunkers. Or even, like you said, tornadoes, like Kansas. Some
Yeah,
place that their tornadoes just come through all the time.
makes sense. Makes sense. So,
So,
but anyways, we have a half answer. Don't need the full answer. It's fine. It's going to change in a little bit anyway. People are crazy and losing their minds. Once the economy comes back, people start building all kinds of crazy shit.
okay, so is a bunker a rich person thing or is it a crazy person thing?
Both.
If you're rich and crazy, bunkers galore.
Well, there's a short answer and a long answer. The short answer is you have to be slightly eccentric with money to do it quickly. The long answer would be there are broke people that do it. It just takes them a lot longer to do it. You got to save up for materials and things, and they do it themselves versus, pick somebody with a lot of money. They could just hire, a 40-person team to pour the foundation, done. Versus Joe Schmo who's digging it out himself.
So cerebral Paul says bunkers do not equal storm shelters. What's the fundamental difference? Aren't they both
I think it's the depth.
rooms under the ground?
Yeah.
Or is it the security? Like is a bunker, because to me, like a nuclear bomb shelter is not a bunker, right?
Mhm.
Because a bunker isn't necessarily reinforced enough.
Mhm.
Or is it that a bunker is designed for you to live there for a certain period of time with a secure door, whereas a storm shelter, you better hope that you can get out in a couple hours so you don't use up all your air?
Uh,
Is it
storm
ventilation?
storm shelters usually don't have an air filtration system of their own, so they usually have an exit for air to get in and out, like a fan of some kind. Not always. Sometimes you are just relying on the door itself to have enough ventilation, or like you said, getting out in a few hours. Versus a bunker, a bomb shelter would be, it would have its own air source if you need it, because you're not going to want to breathe in contaminated air. So it's going to need a filtration system or its own air supply from tanks or something. And yeah, it's going to have an extremely secure door, probably like a hallway from the door to where you're actually hanging out. A little bit of space. Whereas a storm shelter, I believe, just has a stairway.
Okay, okay, so I Googled storm shelter versus bunker. So here's this article, and it has photos. These are the nicest bunkers I've seen in my life. This is probably nicer than some people's houses. Um, there's like beds and carpets and lighting. This one has a kitchen in it. I don't really understand. Okay, so storm shelters, yeah, they're designed to protect against severe weather, offering robust protection against high speed winds and flying debris. Safe rooms are constructed above ground and provide better flood resistance, making them a good choice for areas prone to heavy rainfall. Underground storm shelters are more invisible and offer optimal long-term protection, while safe rooms are more visible and accessible for rescuers. I don't know, I kind of feel like if you're in a bunker, you're not worried about being rescued because you're going to rescue yourself.
The plan usually would be the plan. Might be.
Dude, there's this has to be an AI photo. This is totally like a can I save this? This is like a house.
Oh, some of them are like the more money you have, the bigger, more elaborate you can make them. They've got some that are essentially compounds underground. Oh, hold on, let me turn my camera on. So there we go.
Right? So look at this thing. That's like let me get a little bit. That's like a whole house underneath the ground. Can you imagine if that's the bunker that you built? How much do you think that thing costs?
Oh, I mean, if I'm building something like that, why not? I got stupid money to spend. I'm probably gonna get a
Shit,
gold toilet too.
I just lived there. I mean, right? That looks pretty fancy. Although I want to know how they're going from room to room. Like, how are you going from the kitchen to the bedroom next to it?
Well, this one's an AI because
That's
there
not.
aren't stairs. That's gotta be
Well, there's
AI.
stairs going to the top. Like, I don't know. Yeah, are you
But
climbing
there's
a
no
ladder
door
down?
in though. It's not like a real door in. It just looks like a hole.
Yeah.
Where you gonna drop in? How you getting out? I don't
Okay.
see a ladder.
Can you imagine though that like you this is a picture you show and you want someone to build you something like this? Like,
I don't know. I always think of the shelter from Blast from the Past with Brendan Fraser.
I never saw it.
Oh, that movie's hysterical. Stupid but funny. Came
I don't
out
know.
back in '99. And yeah,
Red says bunker equals a house and shelter equals a shed. Okay. I have neither, so kind of I'm screwed if something happens. But we all know my plan, my whole master plan, if shit goes down, I'm just gonna lay in bed and just wait to die. I mean, don't need to be underground for that.
I mean, depending on what it is, it could be fun for me. I might decide to stick around for a while just to be entertained. And then, well, yeah, yeah, zombie apocalypse would be fun.
I wonder if anyone ranked like which state. Let me Google this. Right, if we had which state can survive an alien invasion, who will survive a zombie apocalypse?
Oh, that's
I
easy.
can't spell, but
That's easy enough. Higher altitudes,
okay.
less
What is
population.
okay? So I don't know if this. So this is saying 10 bet. I don't know. This is from cabletv.com. I don't know who these people are, but they're the first thing that I Googled.
Hmm.
Um, More farmlands with fewer people may help you from falling under whatever zombie inducing disease is floating around. Plus, farming up your own food instead of relying on trading, hunting, or scavenging may help you survive longer. Okay, the top state that's going to survive. It says top 10 best states for surviving a zombie apocalypse. North Dakota. North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa, Nevada. Okay, so Nevada is not going to survive the aliens, but they'll survive the zombies. Kansas, Utah, Arkansas, Vermont, Wyoming.
I mean, it makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
But this is although California has the 10th highest population per square mile, it has better than average farmability per capita, and it's the best in the nation for solar power. So I wonder why that didn't rank higher.
It's real simple. I can tell you. I mean, I don't listen. You don't have to be a politician to know why. Because a lot of them are pacifists, and I feel like a lot of them would be like, "Oh, what's going on over there?"
They don't
And
want
end
to.
up
They
on
don't
the
want to.
list.
They don't want to shoot the poor little zombie.
Well, not even just that; they'd be nosy enough to go over and stand too close. I mean,
Well, so the
there's an
worst
entire
state.
video game based on it. Duh.
So this has the 10 worst states. So this is ranked 1 through 10. So hold on. How over these scores? Okay. So we're gonna start. I'm gonna go from 10 to 1, right? Because 1 is going to be the worst state. So I'm gonna count down. So really, I'm gonna count from 41 to 50. New Hampshire,
Hmm.
which is interesting because wasn't Vermont, which is next door to it, was on the top 10. But New Hampshire, Washington, Pennsylvania, Florida, Massachusetts, Maryland, New York, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and New Jersey. New Jersey folks are 11 times less likely to survive the zombie apocalypse than those in North Dakota. So it has a lot of it has to do with population density, and there's not a lot of farming going on. These states pull in an average of 29 cents of farming money per capita, and most of that comes from New York and Florida, whereas the national median is $1.70 per capita. So we're going to starve to death.
I mean, you guys can do whatever you want. We got plenty to eat if you can hunt it. Listen, if you can shoot it, you can cook it, as far as I'm concerned.
California was 15 on the list. This surprises me, but I guess, it does make sense. You have farms, you don't have a lot of population density. That totally makes sense. So it doesn't even have to do with you, like, killing the zombies. It's that the zombies aren't going to find you and you can survive without relying on anyone else.
I think it's fair enough. I just the apocalypse happens. I feel like there's a few states that, regardless of their farming abilities and population density, are going to have some problems with rioting.
Yeah.
If the last few years have taught us anything, people don't do well. they don't they don't think there's consequences.
Okay, so I just saw Cerebral Paul's comment. So I had that photo up of the bomb shelter, which
Mhm.
sadly neither shelters or bunkers tend to be handicap accessible. That photo that we had up on the screen, which I know is not a photo, it's an AI picture, but you're there, you're just gonna get dropped in through the roof, and then you're stuck in the kitchen. You can't move, you can't go anywhere. That thing was not accessible for anybody. That's a good point though. You can't get underground. But that might be better though, because I question how much you really need to people want to be in a bunker.
It depends on what happens. There's been a few movies that have done the whole twist on it where being enclosed in a small space for long periods of time is actually what makes you susceptible to the virus and die, or keep you from mutating well enough to survive with the rest of the population. Just depends. I mean, what kind of apocalypse are we talking about? There's so many different kinds of virus outbreaks. Besides, uh, who's to say how long you want to survive the apocalypse for? Make it
Well,
boring after a while.
that's why my plan is to not survive. I don't have to worry about it.
Oh, that's funny.
Sir X-Men said, which major city would survive an apocalypse?
Ooh.
Well, okay, Nevada
Oh,
is the number fifth state on the list, so I'm gonna have to go with Las Vegas because the first four states, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa, I can't think of major cities in those states. I don't know if
yeah, but
Las
the
Vegas
problem,
even counts as a major city, but
I feel like, but see, this is where I feel like gun laws come into play when it comes to something like that. Because I feel like the more chance you have to defend yourself from a distance from something, that's spreading disease like that, the further away you can kill it, the better off you're going to be. And in Las Vegas in particular, I don't know exactly what the gun laws are, but I do know you can't have, at least I don't think you can have a gun in a casino. I know you can't have a gun in a bar for the most part in just about any state. I could be wrong. If I am wrong,
oh,
feel free to correct me. But I feel like you can't have alcohol and a gun at the same time in a public place. So I feel
so
like Las Vegas might be in a little bit of trouble.
well, okay, so hold on though. You just need a couple people with guns, and you need to be in a high rise. There are only so many points of entry to each floor. So now, as the zombies are coming up the stairs of the elevators, you just pick them off,
Yeah. But again,
right?
it also goes back into what kind of zombies we're talking about. Because if they're slow moving zombies, a lot of cities are going to be just fine, regardless of gun laws or not. They're going to be just fine. But if we're doing fast zombies, a whole lot of places are screwed. Because, like I said, you're going to want to do it as far away as possible when it comes to something like a fast zombie. Because you're not going to get it the first time. What happens when you run out of bullets? You want enough distance to like get out of dodge before they get to you. So there's so many different factors that come into play. Also, how are we noticing the zombie apocalypse? Are we stuck in traffic like New York or California bumper to bumper traffic? In which case, so many major cities are screwed.
Yeah, you can't
Whereas,
get away.
yeah, whereas a place that has a little less issue with traffic is going to be a lot easier. So, I mean,
No guns in casinos, but I don't know if the zombies are coming. You're just gonna go run inside. I don't know. Ammo does become an issue, and I feel like you need to make friends. Hopefully, you have a prepper friend who's been making all of his own ammunition and has a stockpile in their bunker.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, so many different factors come into play with a zombie apocalypse. It's hard to
Sir,
decide.
see, Sir X-Men said, "Here's a big one," but to me, this is such an easy question.
Okay.
What country would survive a worldwide blackout? What? And I think to me that's easy. It's going to be a third world country. What's the poorest country in the world? And I think they're the most likely to survive because they probably don't have stable power to begin with. So I would think that they could survive if it wiped out completely. Right? Somebody who already does not have a stable power grid is going
Yeah,
to be able to survive without power.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Actually, yeah. I was trying to think. There is a country I know of that is notoriously bad for electric. They constantly have issues with rolling blackouts, and in some of the places they do have I'm trying to think of where it is. I
Right? Actually,
actually just saw about that the other day. I can't even think of where it is.
Frank has the answer. Antarctica would survive. You're right.
No, no, Antarctica wouldn't survive in the
No
long
one lives
run.
on Antarctica.
There are people. That's the problem, though. There are people that are there, but you have to get supplies from other places.
How
Without
many? Oh, like
electricity, how are you calling anyone to let them know you need supplies? And who's like if for the whole country's blacked out? Who's going to think to go there and bring you just random supplies?
it's a scientist. Is that who's there?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they do a lot of scientific studies out there. And I think that's all they really do. And like maybe they do some digging. I know every once in a while they'll come out with something. A few years back, they were like, "Hey, we found this bacteria that was from before the dinosaurs, and when we thawed it out, it started wiggling around." And a whole lot of people collectively went, "Put it back and stop. We've seen this movie. We know how this plays out. Stop it." I was one of those people that said it. I've seen this movie play out. I watched too many of. Listen, I've noticed more often than not in the last few years, we really seem to be doing a fabulous job of emulating movies that came out 15, 20 years ago. Contagion, anyone?
Is that the movie with the monkeys that got loose?
No, no. It's a different movie. Um,
We,
no,
we watched we watched
Contagion
that
had the
movie.
bat and the pig get a virus that gave it to Gwyneth Paltrow, and she started a plague and along the way. And guess where it happens at?
Florida,
No.
California, a different country,
Keep up with the conspiracies, damn it.
China.
Yes. A bat bit a pig in China. Somebody slaughtered the pig, served it to Gwyneth Paltrow at a business meeting. She got
Oh.
sick, contaminated people along the way on the airplane. Back to America, came back to America and contaminated people in New York, and shit just went wild from there. Gee, doesn't that sound familiar? I'm just gonna have a seat.
The movie that had all the monkeys that got loose. We watched that in 2020, right? In
Yeah.
like April of 2020 when we were all home. What all I remember about that movie is the scene when they're in the movie theater and that dude sneezes and it
Mm.
shows all of the droplets just it grosses me out because nothing outbreak 95
That's what I
nothing
was trying to
to
remember
do
what
with any sort of like pandemic,
it
just
was.
in general. I don't want people's spit droplets on me. But you know that that happens all the time. You know that all the time people are just sneezing and that's going everywhere. And it just, oh, it grosses me to think about it.
They did a study years ago. I remember watching it on like 60 Minutes or something. They did a study of a bunch of people. They recorded them leaving the restrooms. And
Oh,
a
God.
wild number of people they found out just do not bother washing their hands. They don't even look at it.
So
And
disgusting.
yeah, it's horrifying to think the things people touch and then want to
People
touch you. Don't.
people are catching their poop in their hand and then not washing their hands in the bathroom.
Oh god, that's too funny.
I know people are disgusting. Everyone. I don't care whether you went number one or number two. I don't care if you're male or female. Wash your hands. Just do it. Wash your hands after you use the bathroom. Wash your hands occasionally throughout the day because your hands are gross. You don't
Yeah,
have
I'm
to
that
wait until you use
person.
the bathroom to wash then. Please, wash your hands.
I'm that person. I'm always telling kids, wash your hands. Anytime we go out and come, wash your hands. They had a kid's friend ask one time, why do we have to wash my hands? Because they got them home from school. I'm like, all right, everybody go wash your hands. She's like, why do we have to wash our hands? I didn't do anything. I was like, because you've been touching nasty little kids like yourself. You've
Yeah.
been touching everything on the planet. Go wash your hands. Like, kids, ugh, ugh. Listen, adults are nasty. You think kids aren't gross? No. Everybody can wash their hands. Everybody wash your
Yeah.
hands. Actually, I was talking about that with somebody earlier today. We were saying how it's interesting how sometimes people will post things and they wonder if she was like, I wonder if they're just doing it just to entice views and by irritating, like rage baiting. And I was like, no, I genuinely think some people are that disgusting. I don't think they see a problem with the behavior and they're just that gross.
Okay, speaking of gross, can we please read Yopi's comment? There's been a trend down here in Miami where people will use public bathrooms and don't close the stall behind them. He said, dude, nobody want to see your bare ass using the restroom. It's nasty and wild. So, like, do they just not latch it and hope someone walks in? Or, like, is the door wide open? And is this only when people are standing? Or, like, are people sitting there, like, making eye contact with you as you're walking into the room? What's wrong with people?
That's weird, but I mean, if that floats their boat, sure, go ahead.
Well, I don't know, though, because if it's the door that's open, like, you don't want to walk in the restroom and, like I said, you're making eye contact with someone sitting on the damn toilet.
I mean, listen, if you are willing to be taking a dunk and then just sit there, and I will do a staring contest with you while you shit. I don't care. It's not me doing it. I'm not poop shy. It's not my problem. I'll stand
He's
there and stare.
So he said standing and the door is wide open. Well, are they just advertising services? Is that what they're trying to do? And okay, I'm not a dude. The closest I know to
Don't they
bathroom
use
about
urinals for
dudes,
pee? So why are they standing
they're not.
with their butt
If there's no
facing out? Are
urinal,
these weirdos using the
well,
private stall just to take a piss instead of the urinal? And then, like, why are they pulling their whole butt cheeks out? I know for a fact guys don't have to have their whole ass hanging out to take a piss.
see, that's what I was going to ask. The only thing I know about men using the bathroom is one of Axel's intermissions where the man show where we had to guess the urinal, what urinals people were using, and I did horrible. I did not guess the correct urinals. I don't think any of those. Yeah, why is your whole ass out?
Wait a minute, have you never gone into a men's room?
Yes, but I've never used a urinal.
No, well, no, but okay, yeah. I don't know.
Right?
Some things
I
just make sense. I don't know. I've never
like
used a urinal myself, but I've gone into the men's room.
right
It's
like
usually easier and quicker. There's not a lot of line. No line. But I mean, I'm just confused as to why their whole butt cheeks are hanging out. I mean, as someone who grew up with a bunch of guys that insisted on having their whole ass hanging out most of the time, and for whatever reason, there was a few years after the Beavis and Butthead movie where everybody wearing around with their pants down. I don't know. It was a thing. You got mooned. Everybody was mooning everybody, so you knew what their ass cheeks looked like more than you saw their face at some point. Like,
Perry solved it. He said, "Come on, ladies, it's simple. Guys in Florida have hot asses that need to be seen by the public."
I mean, okay.
Okay, so Sir X-Man sent me a little description about a show. There's a TV series called Revolution, which is a post-apocalyptic, I can't even say the word, post-apocalyptic science fiction drama that aired on NBC from 2012 to 2014.
Mm-hmm.
The series is set 15 years after a global blackout where all electricity mysteriously stopped working, plunging the world into a new dark age. So did you watch that show, Sir X-Man? Because I would like to know what country like did good in that series. Because like I said, I think it's going to be a country that does not have a stable power grid. Of course, it makes sense that they're the most likely to survive, right? I mean, that's just what makes sense.
I don't know. Oh. I haven't watched that one. I watched one where using a cell phone turned you into a monster. That's
Okay,
a
so
Stephen
that's
King movie. It's a Stephen King story. Go figure. Ah! But
okay. This completely changing gears. This has nothing to do with zombies or anything.
okay.
Stephen King. So last week, if you missed our show last week, go back and watch it. It was amazing. We
Yeah.
interviewed Julia Marchese,
Oh, dude.
who, um, she is one of Stephen King's dollar babies. I watched her movie today.
How was it?
I sent her a message on Twitter. She sent me the link to be able to watch it. 45 minutes. It was really good. I liked what we had talked about last week was about how she had said that everybody reads the same story, but a movie, it's that person's their vision of whatever it is that they read. So I liked how she did the ending, even though she said how she tried to do it like exactly to the book. Like I just kind of like her little twist on the ending.
Mm-hmm.
And then she had talked about a lot about film and how like she likes the old 35 millimeter reels and the softness of it. And as she was talking, I didn't know what she was talking about. I was going to say that, but I was like, okay, well now I get it. Now that I watched the movie, right? I would have never paid attention to it if she didn't say it. But now that like it was in my head and then I watched it, I was like, oh, now I understand what she was talking about with the softness of the film. Because it did have that quality to it.
Oh, that's funny.
No, but it was really good. I liked it.
That's good. That's really good. I'll have to check it out. I wanted to see it. I do want to see it. It does sound awesome.
Yeah. And
But
then I found out because she had said, and you know how people say words and they sound similar to other words, so you don't know exactly what the word is. She had mentioned that you could DM her and she'll send you the where to get it and what the password is, or you can get it on Arrow, ARROW. I didn't know that's what she was saying, but I figured it out.
mm-hmm.
I didn't know that existed. Arrow, it's like I think it was $6 a month or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a whole bunch of horror movies, but like hard to find horror movies. And I was like, this is actually a pretty cool site. So I got to look into it more to see like what kind of stuff is there. But I was like, huh, this might actually be worth signing up for.
I'll check it out. I'll check it out because I was actually just talking today to my
Yeah.
friend's kid about hard to find movies that I've noticed in the last few years. You can't find them anymore and they're not streaming anywhere and you can't get hard copies of them. So let's check it out because there's a few movies that I wanted to rewatch that I cannot find. It's a damn shame. It's a shame.
Of course, now I cannot. I just Googled this to try to find it. Of course, now I can't find it because I'm finding a place that like sells movies. So I can't give you the website apparently, but I found it last week though. If
Oh, it's too
I
funny.
can find it, I'll send it to you. I'll send you a link so you know what it is. Everyone else, you're on your own.
Yes.
Oh, here we go. So it's arrow-player.com. I think this is it. Yeah, it's got like a whole bunch of just cult classic movies. And they have them broken down, so they've recently added ones. But they've got like, oh, these are kind of weird. Cursed collections, cult classics, customer favorites, trailers from hell, sharp shorts.
Yeah.
just things that I've never even heard of. But these, yeah, like so it's good because it's not just blockbuster movies you can find. It's a lot of just the indie movies. There's a whole slasher category.
Cool.
Yeah, so if you guys want to watch horror movies, um, yeah, arrow-player.com. I have nothing to do with this site, so if it sucks, don't blame me. It's simply something I found.
Oh, I'm looking at it now. Ha! Nice, dude, bro. Party Massacre 3. That's so funny. Oh, I spit on your grave. Okay. Could be interesting. Well, I know what I'm going to do now, guys. So
Yeah, you gotta go look it up, see what's on there. And like I said, it was cheap. And even if you don't want to do it forever, maybe I don't know. There's a free trial. I don't know how long it is, but even if you do like a month,
mhm.
it is. Yeah, it does seem dedicated to cult favorites. So like I said, I mean, you have to really be a horror
Oh,
fan
it
to be
is.
into it. But
Yeah, I'm looking at some of these titles and wow, talk about obscure. Slaughterhouse, Body Count.
Microwave Massacre. They came for dinner and they were it.
Huh.
That's funny. The picture for that is like a dude's burning head inside a microwave.
This is some interesting stuff. I'm not even gonna lie.
$7 a month, $70 a year. You can get a free 7-day trial. Like I said, I have not watched anything on it, so don't blame me if you don't like it. But if you like cult horror movies, check it out.
Ooh, they got a whole section of, let's see, zombie movies.
Like they have a section for 70s cult movies.
Hmm. The zombie selection's pretty weak. Oh, they do have the crazies though. Hmm. Okay.
There's some
Well,
weird stuff on it too, so.
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's for sure. Oh, they got basket case on here too. That's funny. Huh.
Yes, Sir X-Men said that Julia Marquez was awesome. She was. She was a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna quit looking at this because it's intriguing. Now I want to go play. I know what you did last summer. Are they doing a TV show or a movie on that one? I can't. Oh, that's right. They're doing a new movie with Jennifer Love Hewitt. That's right. I
Sarah Michelle
forgot.
Gellar, Freddie Prinze, they're all back. I forgot too, and
Really?
I saw a trailer recently, and I was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot
How
about
are they
that."
bringing back Sarah Michelle Gellar? She died.
I don't know. She was in the trailer.
Huh.
I think she was, anyways. And I know she's back somehow because I remember, um, when they signed on, they were trying to ask her about Jennifer Love Hewitt. Apparently, they have beef. I didn't know this. They probably
Oh,
had beef 30 years ago. Who the hell knows? But I remember it being in. That's what they were asking about. No,
sorry.
it's gonna be a good summer for movies.
Yes.
Hopefully, we'll see. We'll see when they come out if it's really a good summer for movies. But
All I know is Final Destination better have some interesting stuff. That's all I care about. The Rue Goldberg setups of it all.
so you gotta let me know how it is. It comes out this week.
Hmm.
So you have to let me know how it is so I need to know if it's worth going to the movie theater to watch or if I should just wait and watch it at home.
Oh, I'll
Cuz
be brutally honest. We know that.
to go to the movie theater, I have to drive at least 30 minutes. And then I'm going to come home. So it's an hour of driving. So is it worth it to go to the theater knowing that it's 30 minutes there and back? So an hour of driving.
Okay, I'll be super harsh on it for you then. Everybody else will be mild because it's a Final Destination movie. For you,
Oh, I'm
I have to
watching it. Yeah, I'm actually going to watch it. It's just, am I going to go to the theater or am I just going to wait to watch it at home?
Depends on
Like,
how
did it?
long you can wait to see it. Is the thing I think.
Yeah. Because did it Until Dawn came out like a month ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting to see that at home. I didn't go to the theater. I'm going to wait.
Yeah. Tiny Giant's not going to go see this one in the theater only because I don't know what kind of complex that could start because I haven't seen this one. Like,
I feel like the Final Destination movie, even though on the grand scheme of things they're not like horrible horror wise, they mess with your head. Like
yeah,
how many of us now still when you see the log truck going down the road, that's what you think about, right?
yeah,
So you got to make sure there, even though it's not like going to be too gory or whatever, you need to make sure that like, yeah, it's not going to
yeah. I think you're
scar
right.
her.
Because I
You're going to
mean,
watch it first.
the way those accidents start those movies off, I think the only one that didn't bother people was probably like the fifth one. That's the one with the car racing. Or no, I think it's number 4, actually. The Final Destination. Yeah, you know what you want to talk about, though.
Yeah.
The car racing. I think that is probably the only one that didn't like traumatize people in the long run.
Yeah.
Because I know most people, if they saw the third one, anytime they got on a roller coaster, they're like, wait a minute. Because, like, I watched a video the other day and there was a guy talking about a new roller coaster, supposedly they want to build, that the roller coaster comes off the track and then, like, falls onto another section of track. And the first thing he said is, has no one's seen Final Destination? And all I'm thinking is, first of all, this is not happening. Like,
Yeah,
this is not a thing they're
no
even
one's getting approval
thinking
for that.
about doing. The insurance alone would be astronomical. The amount of waivers you would have to sign would just be ridiculous. No one's going on this thing. Not to mention, listen, we've got a few problems with technology as it is. Do you really think we're there to do something like that?
Yeah.
Like, our self-driving cars still crash into each other. Do you really think a roller coaster coming off of a track and falling delicately enough on another section of track were there?
There's no way they would get approval. The only way that they could ever get approval for that, and I don't know the logistics of how you would do it not on a flat course, is like a maglev, right? They have it, is it in Japan that has maglev trains maybe, where because it's magnetic levitation that you have magnets on the track, magnets on the train, so your train in effect is floating above the track because it's a magnet field holding it. I could see that would be the only way, but again, I doubt you could do that with twists and turns and up and down. You know what I mean? I don't think that would work, but
Listen, any technology we have come out with ever in the history of mankind, any technology we have, any new tech we release, there always has to be an update on it. Again, I ask, do you think we're there?
yeah.
Because I don't. The fact that we can't release anything technology wise without having to do a patch on it, I'm gonna say that it's not even a concern, not even something you need to consider because we're just not there. I mean, they just
Yeah.
closed down a couple of rides like not too long ago because they had issues after they were open for how long, and you really think they're going to do something like that? Please, not a chance. No,
Not happening.
no.
So Perry said Until Dawn only came out last week. So I have a while to go then before I can watch it at home.
Eh,
So I don't remember what the ending was for the last Final Destination,
mhm.
but so X-Men, the concept for this Final Destination, I'm really excited for the concept. One of the people from the first movie, her whole family, her grandkids, they're the ones who are getting killed because they are not supposed to exist, right? Because that's the whole premise of all the movies, that death finds you and you can't
Yeah,
escape it. So now she escaped death, but then had kids and grandkids. Well, they all shouldn't be here. So I think it's a great concept. I'm excited. And then
It
is
is interesting.
Sarah Michelle Gellar? She's really not in the new movie that's coming out for I Know What You Did Last Summer.
I
I
didn't
thought,
think she would be. It wouldn't make any sense.
huh?
I mean, her character
Guess
died
I'm
in the
going.
first movie, so
I guess I'm going crazy then. I
it'd
just
be like
watched the trailer the other day too.
it'd just be like Ryan Phillips' character showing up. He died in the first one too. Like, no. Like, I think Malik Pfeiffer's in the second one. His character died too. Like, why would he show up in this one? Wouldn't make sense. Makes no sense. But if Ben's in it, no, I'm just kidding.
I know
Yeah.
Freddie Prinze Jr.'s in it. I remember him from the trailer. What concept was better, Final Destination or Saw? The answer is never
Oh,
Saw.
seriously. It's always
Never,
Final Destination.
never.
Yeah. Final Destination has a way better concept. It's entertaining. I don't think anyone's ever watched a Final Destination and be like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen. They're not the best, but they're entertaining, and that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
We go to watch the interesting ways you can die. It's basically a movie version of 1,000 Ways to Die.
yeah.
And that's what I'm going for.
Well, you only get a few more days, and then you have to let us know.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. But it's okay. Things keep falling on me. That is enough. I have had enough of this. But with that being said, I think we should get going because
Yep.
it's getting late. It's been a while. And if we talk about everything tonight, we'll have nothing next week. Duh.
Yes, thank you. It was a lively chat today.
Yeah. And yes, Cougarman, I like Saw. I watch them. Those aren't great. I watch them for the kill scenes, the torture chambers. As I find it fascinating that the first couple of movies actually were based on torture devices throughout history. That I always found fascinating. A little more torture-esque, I guess, than the original devices were, but I always find it interesting that they find bits and pieces of history to kind of toss them in there. It's fun.
Sir X-Man, if you meant Paranormal Activity movies, those are Jess Dealer's all-time favorite movies. Number one. She loves. That's what she'll watch over anything. Number one movies.
Oh, I hate those movies so much. Somebody trolled me by giving me the series. It was like the worst thing ever. I still have no idea who did that to me. I feel like they know I'm gonna.
They're
kill
not going to
them if I
fess
find
up.
out.
Yeah, they're not going to fess
No,
up.
they're never gonna be honest. Be like, yeah, I gave you the movies you hate, asshole. I'll
But yeah,
find you someday.
Milfman says make sure to get nachos at the theater.
Always, always. It's the only reason I go. Ah,
So,
but that all being said, I'm Death Dealer,
I'm Piggles.
and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.